Today, Brian and I are going to share with you the top 3 benefits of ketones. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Blake Bowman here with GuerrillaZen Fitness. I'm here with my brother. Again, we already made another video, but we recorded 2 while we were out here. This is Brian Hardy, my friend from Toronto. He is a health coach.
How you doing?
We're good friends. Basically, what we wanted to talk about today are the benefits of ketones. And if you don't know what ketones are, they are a metabolite of fat. The whole idea of a ketogenic diet is to raise blood levels of ketones when they're in your body. So, you know, really, ketones are the end product of a ketogenic state or a ketogenic diet is what you're trying to do, okay? So we're gonna discuss those benefits with you right now. All right, so the first benefit is ketones are anti-inflammatory. Okay, I'm gonna let Brian talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when you think about a standard American diet with a lot of carbohydrates and hence a lot of insulin to control or attempt to control blood sugar levels, both of those essentially, you know, substances in the body can lead to inflammation, particularly in things like the brain, right? And the condition Alzheimer's, which we now label scientifically as type 3 diabetes or diabetes of the brain, which has an inflammatory root cause, is a good example of this. And it's also a good example as to why nutritional ketosis over time is a great strategy for lowering inflammation, right, systemically and in the brain, in order to prevent or reverse diabetic conditions or even Alzheimer's sort of pictures, disease pictures.
Yes, and again, we're not physicians, so always consult with the doctor. We're not, you know, telling you can cure anything with the ketogenic diet, but you know, definitely talk to your diet about it. I'll post some of the science when I can find it on this video. It might be in this video here, or if it's not, check the description down below. But this is the newest theory about Alzheimer's, is that it's a, you know, it's a glucose metabolism related disease, right? It's insulin resistance in the brain. Switching your body from using glucose to using ketones, specifically in the brain, can bypass some of what are these suspected underlying mechanisms behind Alzheimer's nowadays. So again, we're not saying you can cure Alzheimer's or anything, but it's something to look into. We wanted to put it on your awareness map. All right, so the second benefit of ketones is that ketone bodies actually act as something called HDAC inhibitors in the body, which basically alters the way your genes function, okay? And this alters the expression of your genes in a positive way. So a lot of cancer patients actually have high levels of expression of certain genes, oncogenes, which are genes that, you know, when they're activated and expressed, cause the host with those genes to develop cancer. These HDAC inhibitors that come from, this is the effect that ketones have, they actually suppress the activation of those oncogenes, okay, and can help to turn them off. It's an epigenetic switch. Epigenetics is like this field of research that studies how genetics are expressed, right? Just because you're given genetics for something doesn't mean that those genetics are deterministic, right? You control how those genes are expressed through your lifestyle and a lot of other factors. HDAC inhibitors help to control that. They're found in a lot of green leafy vegetables too, like I believe broccoli sprouts have them as well. But ketones are a powerful one, so they can make for a powerful anti-cancer tool. The third biggest benefit of the ketogenic diet, you know, aside from the obvious, which is fat loss, which is something that I haven't even talked about because that is really the primary benefit of it, is that it's muscle and protein sparing. Okay, so I'll let Brian talk a little bit about that right now.
Yeah, so what that means and what that looks like and why that's important to us, why you might be interested in that for yourself, is that you can theoretically, you know, and practically be dropping your protein below what might be considered maintenance, right? So depending on your size and depending on your activity levels, we all have different needs for proteins, for amino acids. But because you have ketones in circulation, or when you have ketones in circulation and muscle cells can run on ketones, right? So can the brain and so can the heart. They actually prefer ketones instead of glucose. And there is some science to back that up that we can link to in the description. you can, in essence, prevent yourself from muscle wasting, even if you're not necessarily getting enough protein. So maybe you're a vegetarian, maybe you're a vegan, maybe you're someone who wants to, for whatever reason, cut back on your meat consumption or your protein consumption. You know, maybe you want to stimulate autophagy, you want to drop your protein down, but you don't want to come out of that having broken down your lean tissue for fuel, right? That's one of the worst things that can happen, especially as we age. We want to preserve our lean tissue. And we can do that through ketogenic diets and also synergize that with intermittent fasting, right? Because both of these things together can increase things like growth hormone, can increase things like testosterone, which also have anabolic effects.
Fatty acid metabolism, just it gets, you know, the ketogenic diet synergizes very well with a intermittent fasting or extended fasting, because both will actually get you into fat metabolism. They'll start getting your body to break down its own fat cells for energy. And to build on what Brian is saying, I'm not saying that I'm a bodybuilder, I'm somebody that has a lot of muscle, but you know, I have like a decent amount of muscle, and since May of this year, I have not been eating more than 60 grams of protein a day, okay? So, you know, the conventional bodybuilding standards are that you need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight in order to add lean muscle mass, okay? I'm not saying I've really added lean muscle mass, but I certainly haven't lost any since following a ketogenic diet and dropping my protein intake from like about 185 grams a day all the way down to 60 or less. So it's really a good way to, you know, maintain muscle mass and get a lot of benefits that you would get from like fasting without the muscle wasting.
Yeah, and this is
extended fasting.
And this is particularly important if you don't either have the resources or access to really good quality protein sources. Or meat if you're a meat eater, right? So you can stop spending money on some of the, you know, factory farmed, chemical and toxin laden meat products, and invest those instead into really good quality fats. And you know, your performance and your muscle mass are not going to suffer in any significant way.
Yep, that's it. All right, I think this video is a little too long already. If you want to learn more about this, more about the ketogenic diet, how to implement it, how to use it, then you need to get our guide, the Keto Quick Start, okay? We teach you all about this in there, the macronutrients that you want to hit, how to start it, some tools that you might want to have in your kitchen that make it easier to do, all sorts of stuff like that. It's a complete guide for somebody that's just getting started with this. If you want to get that, there's a link in the description down below, also in the comments. You know, if you want to find another place for that, click this over here. That will take you to our website where I'll ask you for your email, and then basically I'll send you the guide, okay? That's it. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe over here. And if you want to check out more videos, check out Brian's face over here. They're like this one, so I think you'll like them. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.
Enjoy these tips. Enjoy the guide.